right. Hi, everybody. I'm with Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Okay, Harley, we were talking about a court program that you were required to take injection medications for mental illness.
Right.
Can you just briefly retell that, like how that came about?
Well, it was the day, like I said, I don't know if you all remember, when the moon was actually falling and everything was shaking that night. I was living on Alexander by the Arlington Church of God with my husband at the time, but it was actually my twin, Jason. You know, he surfs through bodies or whatever to save me because we're only allowed to touch each other.
Sure.
But before that happened, I mean, he broke my shoulder and everything else. He was exercised like all men do. They get exercised by the evil.
Yes.
But I knew I had to do something to save us because the moon was falling and everything was shaking.
Yes. And so what'd you do?
So I called 911.
Yes.
And I told them that I didn't know who I was and I couldn't remember who I was.
Okay.
And every time I go to the hospital, they try to kill me. So when I went there, they were trying to kill me, and they were like pumping me full of like sodium something.
Yeah.
And it was like they were trying to turn me into a zombie. I seen Becky there. Becky was there, which is my fake undercover mother or whatever, the stolen mother.
Right.
And what had happened was they were trying to turn me into a zombie, and I looked up in the mirror. And I seen Kevin Cooley, his name is, and he was literally my body.
Yes.
Like, I was black, and like, it looked just like Kevin. And he's from Cincinnati at the time.
Yes.
You know, and that's when he came here to save me. And everybody was actually in a circle while I was crying, waiting for the ambulance to come, because I didn't know what I could do to save us. Like, I was saving us, but they kept switch, reset, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they stood around me in a circle, the Bloods and DWB, if you want to keep it real, my family. They were in a transparent form like them, and they said, "Don't worry, Pinky, we're gonna save you." And that's when I got picked up, and they tried to turn me into a zombie, and then they court ordered me to take medication.
And then, so did you have to go to a court?
But before the injections, that time it was Dr. Masterson at Akron General, and he told me, "Don't worry, it's what you need, you know, it's meth, but it's not, you know, in the right form or whatever."
Yeah.
Like all ways. He said it out of his mouth in all ways, you know, that he could.
Yes.
And it worked great. And then as soon as that happened, I had to start going to CSS.
So wait, okay, so did you ever go to a court? Or were you always in the hospital?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I was in the hospital for 35 days.
Okay.
Well, not the hospital, Akron General. Psych ward.
Okay.
I was on, there's two different sides to it. One is like super mental and the one is more calm.
Yeah.
I was on the super mental side and I seen Dr. Masterson. He put me on the other more calm side. And then you know, he gave me the Wellbutrin and made me go to CSS. Like, he gave me a thing to CSS.
Did he force you to take the Wellbutrin?
No, he said that he told me it would work and all that stuff.
And so you agreed to take it?
Yeah,
okay.
Because I trusted him. I knew who he was.
Yeah.
You know, I know everybody because I'm the creator and I know.
Sure.
But then I did that, and then they forced me to take injections of Abilify.
And then, like, when did that happen?
Well, they kept throwing me in the psych ward.
Okay.
For nothing. Like, I literally,
and
I was scared to even leave my house.
Yeah. Did you say, "I do not want to be on Abilify"? Or were you like, maybe
Yeah, I begged them. You can ask my doctor. Her name was, what was her name? Well, first it was an Asian dude.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but it's all recorded at CSS.
Yeah.
But then the female lady, well, I told the Asian dude that I didn't want to take it, and he wouldn't let me off of it. Okay?
He injected you?
Yeah, I would get injections there at CSS. Monthly.
At CSS? You had to go to CSS?
I went there for 6 years straight, yeah.
For 6 years?
Yeah. But the first 6 months when I first started going there, it was court ordered.
Okay, so for 6 months you were court ordered, and what would happen if you wouldn't go?
They didn't tell me.
Yeah,
I just complied. I just did what they wanted.
Sure.
Because I do follow rules. You know?
Yes.
But after that all happened, you know, at the end of the 6 months, and I asked for 6 months if I could get taken off of
Yeah.
that Abilify,
Yes.
and they wouldn't.
They wouldn't. They said,
wouldn't
no,
do it.
you have to take
And
it.
then I got a new doctor, and she was a female, and she was really nice. And I knew it was my husband or whatever.
Yeah.
And everything was fine, and they gave me a knockoff of Abilify called Aristata.
Okay.
And I would get that too, but it didn't have any bad effects like the Abilify
That
did
was
because
better.
I was sleeping like 23 hours out of the day. I couldn't do nothing.
Wow.
And I gained 60 pounds and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
then, you know, they put me in this thing called the Art of Recovery through CSS. And I do own CSS.
Okay.
CSS is one of the things I own, just like Circle K
Right.
and AMHA.
Right.
But, you know, it just started, things were good for a little bit. And I was selling my paintings at the Art of Recovery, and,
Really?
and family bought it, and they're all in CSS, like my table, my paintings,
Oh, I'd like to
everything
see your paintings.
hanging up in the walls, and they're growing crystals and diamonds and stuff on them.
Really?
But I haven't been back to CSS because of, you know, everything that's going on. But it's just it's a really long story.
So,
Like after that happened, I went back to my home on Arlington with Jason at the time. He broke my shoulder. He was the most scariest narcissist there ever was, and I knew he was being exercised. They actually buried me in concrete in the basement and fucking took my head off with the kids, Taya, Tyson, and Jameer, on the steps watching, which is my fucking husband, you know, and my family. It was Frankie, Jason, and you know.
are you
Me, it
are
was
you
Taya.
currently taking any medication now?
No, I haven't been since about, I want to say, you know, it's hard because I'm so damaged. I do know everything I can show you, but I want to say like a year and a half.
Okay.
It's been.
Do you feel better now that you're not on medication?
Not really. It got worse because I get tortured more.
Okay. So yeah, you get tortured more when you're not on medication.
But that's not true either. Like, it's just getting worse and worse. They think they can use my magic. That's what they used to control and take my magic, was that medicine that they injected
Did they
me with.
tell you?
And I don't even have
what,
blood.
Did they give you a diagnosis of something?
Yeah, they said bipolar schizoaffective disorder.
Schizoaffective. Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why that happened is because, you know, I am everything. People see and hear me, even though they don't admit to it.
Do you?
But I told them I could see that transparent form, and it wasn't allowed, you know, and they were torturing me and exercising my family.
Do you agree that in that diagnosis, the bipolar schizoaffective?
No, I'm actually a genius. I'm the creator.
Right.
You know, they're trying to use that to control me and like nanobots, they think. But I know for a fact that's not true because they sacrifice as soon as they go in me. When they put me in jail wrongfully, they set me up in jail too. I was with Milhone, and he's a part of the police. I was with him. We were at the apartments right over here, that new building.
Yes.
That was supposed to be for us to be free in.
Right.
And we were
Did you
sitting
move
in
in
the
there?
lobby. No, we
Okay.
were just sitting in the lobby. There was a guy in a wheelchair, which was my husband, and he had some of my stuff. And I was trying to get it, and he was waiting, but he didn't answer the door. So we were sitting out in the lobby because we thought it might take him time, you know, because it takes him some time to answer the door sometimes. And we were in the lobby, and all of a sudden I looked down, and there's a little bag of meth. So I picked it up, you know. It was like, what about kids or something, you know? This is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So as soon as I picked it up, he goes downstairs and takes it from me, and then I followed him down. And I was like, give it back. And I was like, you want to do some? You know, but we never opened it or anything. And all of a sudden the police came in and arrested both of us.
Oh.
And then they tried to set me up for a murder too. And all this stuff. And that's when I started taking the bodies again. Because I stopped for a while and then I started taking them again.
Do you find, does meth help lessen the torture?
It's actually medicine.
Right.
For me.
Does it help?
Meth is made for me. It's a balancer for me.
It balances you. When
Yeah,
you're
well,
when you're
I
using
balance
meth.
everything.
Sure.
But drugs are not drugs, okay? They're for mythicals. It's our medicine.
Right.
We don't use pills like that normally, but now some are, you know, okay. Actually all, because the same thing I did with the Fetty. They kept overdosing my family with Fetty.
Sure.
And me. But I made it so it won't overdose. It's kind of like meth, but it's like entwined with something different, you know? I made it so all drugs cannot do that, you know, because I make them.
What about the
I make
drugs?
everything.
For sure. So if you make everything, what about the drugs that doctors have prescribed you?
They're fine now.
Do you sometimes take those?
No, I don't like them. I'm
don't?
supposed to have all natural stuff made
Okay.
for me. They were made for me, but they were made evilly.
Okay.
You know, so
Yes.
I take vitamins
Sure.
and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like, but I'm more of a person that needs concentrates.
Concentrates.
And stuff like that.
How about marijuana? Do you like that?
Yeah, it's a balancer too.
Is that a balancer?
They're all balancers.
Right. But you would
it's
say
too
not the
devolved.
ones, but not the ones that the doctors are giving you. You don't feel like they're
At the
balancing
time,
you.
no, but now I made it right. See,
Oh, okay.
I'm wrong things made right. That was the first thing I ever was. There's
Yeah.
levels to everything.
Yeah.
And I had to be certain things to stop them.
Yes.
And the first thing was wrong things made right. Second thing was karma.
Yes.
And they've been giving me all their karma because I sacrificed to take my family's karma when they were exercised and turned on me and hated me because I knew they never did.
Yeah.
And I've been taking their karma too. And I never wanted to. And they keep doing it and they think they can continue and they can't.
Yeah.
Like I already collected my reward. I already did everything. They don't want me to go shopping. They don't want me to be the goddess status of the material mythical I am for sacrifice.
Why? Why do they
They're
tell you
jealous.
why? They're jealous.
They're zombies.
Yeah.
They're evil.
Mm-hmm.
They're pure fucking evil.
Yeah. Yeah. You
There
feel
are
like the
some
doctors are evil?
No, doctors are not evil.
Oh, okay.
Scientists, they're my sacrificers.
Okay.
All governments, my sacrificers.
Mm-hmm.
I am like my husband. I don't surf through things. I come out all at once in front of people, but it's exactly me, the way I look and who I am.
Yeah.
See, we're exactly alike, but a little bit different. He has chosen ones
Yes.
to love me and to sacrifice to save me and represent. He is the representative of my kids inside right now.
This guy?
Yes.